down for what? Spotlight in the city. Turn down for what?
Tune in to Spotlight in the City.
Turn down for what? Turn down for what?
Spotlight in the City.
Man, you ain't doing nothing if you spotlight in the city. Man, you ain't doing nothing if you
Spotlight in the City.
Man, you ain't doing nothing if you watch
The Spotlight in the City.
Hey.
What's going on? You tuned into another episode of Spotlight in the City. I'm your host, Jazzy Ones, a.k.a. Jack of all trades, master of the grind, a.k.a. the Brits from your house that was hot in the entertainment world, and I'm here with Brittnee Camelle. What's going on?
Just another day. I'm happy to be here with you.
All right, now, before we started this interview, I was in the studio listening to tons of records. You have amazing records.
You're a boy, nowhere near a man. So forget about the love we had.
Let's talk about where you're from.
Well, I moved around a lot when I was young, but I'm from Atlanta. This is what I know. This is what I call home. This is where I grew up. So, Atlanta, Georgia.
All right, so what inspires you to want to sing? Is that the first passion?
Yes, by far. I fell in love with the stage when I started dancing. I was in a dance company, but I always sang. That was what made me me. That's where I got my identity from. So I would have to say, like, shoot, I started singing before I could probably talk. So, yeah.
Now, you were on The Voice. The exposure from that, how did it help you?
I would have to say it was not just about the exposure. It was about growth as an artist, which is what The Voice stands for, which is why I even chose to go to the show. They have a lot of morals behind them as a show, and sometimes you can get caught up in a lot of these talent shows, and it's more so about different things, but The Voice stands for showcasing your artistry and growing that artistry. So I walk away a stronger artist, and now people know my name. Now people are familiar with, oh, Brittnee Camelle. Oh, man, I saw her killing on The Voice. Now I have more notoriety in this city. So,
now I've read somewhere where before you got on The Voice, like you didn't have the passion no more for singing, and it was all about another career. Is that true?
That I have to correct. No, my passion is always number one, music. But my parents just always say, I've always been a straight A student. So they kind of said, have a backup plan. Just think a little differently. So I went back to school, and I did. I'm in school pursuing a nursing degree. But music is always number one, and that's why I put school on hold to go to the show, because that's what I want to do with my life. But I'm not against, especially young women, getting an education, because, you got to be smart and talented if you want to make it in this world.
And that's one thing I like about you. You have the nursing school in your back pocket, and you also a singer. So that for the young females out there, they look at that and think it's just singing, and there's nothing else. You showing them you can do both. So that's very inspirational for the younger females, and you're a great role model. All right, now you're in the studio working. Bakim got you all over the place. Yes. Bakim got you all over the place. My bad, correction. Bakim got you all over the place. Who name some of the producers you're working with now?
Honestly, I have the pleasure of working with James Worthy, who's with Rock Nation, Dave Hall, who that's honestly been a crazy experience thus far to work with. Ayo, who actually did the track for my leading single right now,
which is
Missing You, which is going to be on my EP, and I've been performing it these past few weeks. And then yeah, those are the three main guys that I'm working. But I'm meeting so many new people, and so many people want to come a part of the B. Camelle movement now. So I'm sure the sky's the limit.
Now, you just performed at Sweet Auburn Fest, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
That was crazy. That was so much fun. That was my first time actually going to that festival. I've heard so many things, and Bakim, my manager, is always telling me, yo, B, Sweet Auburn Fest. He's super New York, so I have to do the Yo B.
Yeah, he definitely did. I called him coming to the studio. Yo, man, son. That Joker got a deep New York accent. I'm from Jersey, you know what I mean? We up north, but he got that deep north accent.
So I had to do it. But he has always told me about the Sweet Auburn Fest, and to be able to go out there and do it prime time. I mean, there was thousands of people out there, and I mean, to make people gravitate towards you and they don't even know you. There were some people that had seen the show and they were coming up like, oh my gosh, like you're here, blah, blah, blah. But to have people gravitate towards you and really take to you, and all the young kids come to you and want to take pictures and stuff, like, that's inspiring. It was so much fun to rock the stage and to let people hear my music.
I wasn't even at the Sweet Auburn Fest, but you know how I knew you were performing? We had mutual friends on Twitter, and on my timeline, it was I like 4 people. I'm like, man, she where's she at right now? They said she's killing the stage. So V103 was vouching heavy for you. So you must have really did. What songs did you perform?
I performed My Love, which is a record that I wrote with a writer named Devin Nash. I write a lot of records with him. And Missin' You, which is a record that I did with Ayo featuring LA.
Now, do you write is your project going to be 90% or 100% you writing?
Honestly, this will be, out of all of this time in my career that I've been doing this professionally, this will be the most that I've ever written on anything. But I'm co-writing a lot with other people too, because it's still a craft in the making. But a lot of the stuff that you will hear will be from my heart.
Any Brittnee and Usher songs in the future?
Ush, I'll leave that question to you.
Ush, holla at her, show her love. Now, how was that experience? Was it easy communication with him, or was once the TV cut off, you can't see the judges? How was that?
Honestly, I was like a little kid every single time. I just think because I grew up listening to Usher music, and he's such an observing kind of guy. He's super intelligent, and he's been in this industry for a long time, which is intimidating when you are someone up and coming. So like, I was sitting there, and you can just tell he is observing everything about you. So it was a little intimidating, but honestly, he's such a cool guy, and he's humble. And he, afterwards, when the cameras were off, he'd come to me and just say, just sing. It's in you. Just do what you know how to do, and let the mask come off and be vulnerable to your audience. And he was like, and that is what's going to sell.
How did your peers treat you after leaving off The Voice? Were people coming out with T-shirts, sign this autograph, this hat? Well, how was it?
No, I do have crazy dedicated fans, and I call them my chameleons, my little army. But honestly, the real people around me and my friends, like, they remain the same. And then the people that I grew up with that have seen me through this whole journey, singing in high school and just on this grind, they had nothing but respect. And they were just like inspired by it. Like, wow, there's somebody that we know that is pursuing a dream and doing it. And that's crazy. Like,
so what's next for you?
Honestly, it's all about branding Brittnee Camelle. This summer, I am releasing my first EP, which is going to have records from James Worthy, Dave Hall, Ayo, a lot of stuff from some other producers too that we have yet to announce. And really just, I'm probably going to go on some tours and really just start touching America and take over. I feel it in my bones from the moment I'm alone with you. Baby, you got my head gone. Every time I look into your eyes we touch. 'Cause ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of have it your way. We grown, so I'ma let you take what you want take, because I trust you and I'm in love with us. So you can have my